If you want to be successful in life, and this is one thing that people will never tell you, trust the advice of a mentor blindly. What's going on, guys? It's Uzziah, your success consultant, and in today's video, I want to train you to feel that your mentor is usually always right. Now, I want to set a couple expectations before we move forward in this, because I know right now you're ready to cut off the video. You're like, damn, Uzziah's going crazy. Why would I just blindly listen and follow behind anybody? Here's a few things that I want you to keep in mind. First and foremost, if you subscribe to this channel by now and you followed some of my previous content, you're already on board with the fact that not anybody is your mentor. You already have the understanding that out of 100 people in your life that comes and talks to you every single day, you want to choose only one or two people out of 100 that you're actually going to get behind as you attempt to model their success. A lot of people can talk a good one. Everybody is giving out advice for free and everybody says that they knows what best. But you have to do your homework and understand, do they have a proven track record? Are they years ahead of where you are right now in terms of accomplishments? Is this a person that you would want to trade lives with? We'll talk about that in another video. Once you've made all of those powerful assessments, then and only then can you view that particular person under the lens of a mentor. So if you have a mentor that fits those requirements, when they are giving you professional success, life advice, in most cases, you want to assume that they are usually right. Now, what are the three reasons why you want to assume that your mentor is always right and you want to blindly follow after them on your path to success? Reason number one, because there's not enough time in your life to figure everything out on your own. I'm going to say that again. There's not enough time in your life. I don't know when your dying day is. I don't wish death upon you. If it was up to me, you would live forever and ever. However, in this game of life, there is not enough time for you. Whenever your dying day is, there's not enough time for you to figure everything out on your own. Your time is limited on this earth. So if you are going to be successful, you're going to have to work with the knowledge that's come before you. You're going to have to be able to build upon the knowledge base and the understanding of what has preceded you in your life. If you have a good mentor and you already see that they are accomplished on a certain level and they're telling you something, assume that the approach and the strategy to follow is right, because you don't have enough time to figure everything out on your own. There's going to be particular challenges that are going to be specific to you that you're going to have to spend more time focusing on. So when there are obvious answers that your mentor is able to impart you with, you want to assume that they're right and then just move forward on it as quickly as possible, because in order to be successful, it takes so much time and energy and effort and focus and sacrifice and discipline and money and training in order to be successful. You don't have all that time to just always be in the spirit of doubt. Doubting everything that everybody says, doubting what you should do next, always thinking that you're right. If you have such a stubborn mentality that if there's anything to be learned, you have to figure it out on your own, I promise you that you will never be successful. So the only way that you can be successful is to have a qualified, established mentor that's willing to show you the steps on how to get ahead. And when they're taking the time to show you these steps for your own benefit, you want to assume that they are right. Okay, so there's not enough time for you to figure all of this out on your own. And secondly, what you don't want to do is reinvent the wheel. There's a lot of people that have a misconception that in order to be able to make a great impact in life, or in order to be your own person, you've got to reinvent the wheel in everything that you do. You got to be an inventor on this, and you got to be a forward thinker on that. And the reality is, everybody is not going to reinvent the wheel in their lifetime. Everybody's not going to be, the Henry Ford of the world. Everybody is not going to be the Steve Jobs. You are looking at one out of billions of people that tried to do that and succeeded, but all the other billion failed. So given the scarcity of time in your life, don't try to reinvent the wheel on every single thing. Even when it came to Henry Ford and Steve Jobs, I guarantee you they both had mentors, and I guarantee you there were fundamental principles that they already regarded as truth before they decided to move forward on any level of innovation. You look at Jeff Bezos, who's the founder and the creator of Amazon. Amazon is extremely innovative. Amazon, in many ways, reinvented the wheel on a lot of things. How we read books, how we view deliveries, how we find accessibility and convenience on everyday products in the world. Amazon was an innovator, but there were so many things that Amazon learned based upon best practices of companies that came before them, that they understood those universal truths and built upon those principles in order to come up with new innovation. You don't have all the time in the world. I don't know how else to tell it to you. Tomorrow's not promised to anybody, and time is of the essence. You don't have time to try to figure it out on your own, reinvent the wheel, be an innovator at every single turn. You got to be able to have clearly established fundamental truths that will serve as stepping stones, because it's much better for you to see the world standing on the shoulders of giants rather than looking at things from the ground floor. Think about that. It's better to look at things standing on the shoulders of giants, leaning on the work, the understanding, the sweat equity that came from somebody else. Use their information and use their efforts as your leverage. Stand on the shoulders of giants. Don't be on the ground floor where it's going to take you 1,000,000 years just to get where somebody else already is. If you're trying to be a basketball player and you have the opportunity to learn the game of basketball from Michael Jordan, wouldn't it be wiser of you to start learning from Michael Jordan right now if you had that chance, rather than try to self-teach the game of basketball, not knowing the fundamentals, not knowing the moves, not speaking with the experts, but then you go home every single day and say, yeah, I'm going to be the next Michael Jordan. You got a lot better chance of being the next Michael Jordan by studying the game of basketball from Michael Jordan than trying to do it by yourself, because time is short and there's a lot of intricacies to things that you're never going to pick up on by yourself. And this is the reason why you need to see value in having a trusted advisor. You need to blindly assume in many cases that they are always right. Unless it's just something just totally off the wall and just so flippant where they're telling you to just jump off of a bridge, then okay. Are there exceptions to things? Yes. But what I'm saying is 99% of the time, when it comes to you being able to fundamentally build professional skills in your life, stand on the shoulders of giants and see how much higher that you could see the world. Last but not least, by you standing on the shoulders of giants and you using that as the starting point to get you ahead in life, rather than starting from the ground floor, think about this real quick. If you have kids in your life, right? What do we always say? I want to be able to provide my children with things that I was not able to receive growing up. Do you want your kids to be able to start life from the ground floor without a pot to piss in? Or do you want to give them a leg up so that way they could have a better advantage to conquer the world? It's obvious that you're going to want to give them a better advantage if you have the power to do so. You'd be a horrible parent if you didn't. So, when it comes to you as a mentee, following your mentor, you got to be able to understand the exact same principles. Third point, by you standing on the shoulders of giants and already taking their learnings and moving forward and building from there, that's what's going to allow you to create more time to solve bigger problems that they might have not had the time in their life to be able to do. So when you think about this life, right? It's 2018 now. We're living in a world that's filled with so much technology, so much history, so much business and development, all of these social circles. You have all of these resources around you to be able to learn how to be able to develop and build yourself from there. So now, just by standing on that foundation, you're able to now go into the area of the unknown even higher. Notice this. There's certain things in your life, it's like you're going to have to do it before you try to just create your own thing and be innovative. So when it comes to you, if you're going to school, if you're getting a job, if you're starting a business, if you're trying to make money, there's certain just basic things in life that you're going to have to check the boxes on and do as a prerequisite to you starting something on a totally new frontier that nobody has ever done before. I'm going to use myself as a prime example. Before I created this channel of Black Men's Career, which was my innovative attempt to be able to help Black men become as successful as possible around the world, there were a lot of basic fundamentals that I had to get down first. Number one, learning how to speak. Number two, having something important to say, right? Having actual skill sets that I could develop and train and impart on you guys, so that way you can take the baton that I have handed to you and run with it. I can't just pop out of the womb and start Black Men's Career because I haven't put in the mileage. Where does my authority expertise come from? What have I accomplished? Before I even started this channel, I graduated from college, paid off $95,000 in student loans, worked for years in corporate America in a management position, started my own company, became a best-selling author, had my own real estate, and traveled the world just so that way I could have enough knowledge to be able to come back and show you how to be able to do it. So that's only possible if I had the willingness to look at the mentors that was years ahead of me. And when they shared with me the strategies on how to be able to accomplish certain things, instead of trying to debunk the things that they shared with me, I treated the advice really as though it was gospel and just followed right behind it. So that way I would have more time in my life to build upon the things that they were not able to accomplish in their lifetime. It's not about competition. It's about you making the most of your particular life with the resources and the gifts that God has given to you. The true reality is there are people that come into our life and they impart us with gifts and times and bits of wisdom where they're giving us an opportunity to be able to go forward in ways that they may not have been able to do so. For us to not take full value in that opportunity and seize the moment is absolutely criminal. So what I would advise you to do is go as far as you can go in your life, in the amount of time that God has given to you to walk this green earth. And if you always reject, refute, think that you know better, discount, flat out ignore all of the information that qualified, established mentors that are already successful in life are trying to give you, you're only going to have a mediocre life. You're not going to ever be able to step out of the box and do something that is really and truly great because you could not master the little things, and therefore life is never going to put you in a position to master the big things. Okay? I want you to leave me a comment, and I want you to tell me this. I am going to find a mentor, and I am going to assume that my mentor is usually always right. I know that this is difficult because your ego is in question. I know that this is difficult because it's easy for you to have this extreme reach barrier in your brain where you hear what I'm saying and you internalize it as I'm asking you to take in this cult-like leader where you just don't have a brain at all. You just don't think and you just do what somebody says. I'm not telling you to not have a brain. I'm telling you that smart people that do have a brain, they recognize the scarcity of their own mortality. And because of the fact that our lives are finite, we cannot make every decision consciously. Subconsciously, you have to make immediate judgments on things in order to move yourself ahead as productively as possible, because there's only so much time in a day. So I want you to leave me a comment, and don't forget to subscribe. Share this with a friend. Even if you feel like your friend is stubborn, you feel like they don't see the value in having a mentor, they feel like every single person that's trying to give them some advice is trying to trick them and scam them and do this and do that, I want you to share this video with them and see if they can have a logical rebuttal to any of the points that I stated in this video. An intellectual rebuttal to any of the points that was said in this video, namely about the scarcity of life. I dare anybody to try to contend with that point and see if it won't come to their own perils. Every successful person in this life has had a mentor, and that's because of the fact that they fundamentally understand all of the points that I made in this video to you, all for free. They understand that life and time is short, and that's the reason why they need to be able to find somebody else to hop on the shoulders of, because time is short. All right? Leave me a comment. Let me know that you're going to find yourself a mentor. Maybe it's me, maybe it's somebody else, and you're going to follow their advice with the understanding that they are usually right about the professional advice that they're giving to you. Leave me that comment, subscribe to this video, and I'll see you on the next lesson. Take care.